You don't just step into a new gym. You step into someone else's story. And whether you learn anything depends on how well you shut up and listen.
Steel and shadow, fists fly high, breaking through limits, I reach for the sky. Martial instincts power my stride. Fight principles guiding my fight.
Welcome to the Fight Principles podcast and today's episode, Train Like a Foreigner, Martial Arts and Cultural Humility. So here's the thing, right? In martial arts, the mat, the ring is neutral, but you aren't. So when you walk into a new gym, in a new city or country, you carry your habits, your style, your expectations, and your ego. So today we're talking about what it means to train like a foreigner. Not just in geography, but in mindset. So whether it's Muay Thai in Thailand, Judo in Japan, wrestling in Dagestan, or even just switching gyms in your hometown. This is about humility, curiosity, and earning respect all over again. So let's dive into it and let's see what happens when you're not the local hero anymore. Let me set the scene. The tourist fighter, okay? You walk into a gym in another country, maybe Thailand, maybe Brazil, maybe the Philippines. You're used to being good at your gym back home. But now, you don't know the customs. You bow at the wrong time, you move stiff, you breathe wrong, you think you know what you're doing, but everyone in the room sees you as a tourist. And it's not because you're foreign, it's because you're not open. So that said, let me paint you the scene of fighters who actually did it quite well. One of them being the Muay Thai legend John Wayne Parr. He was a trained kickboxer who went to Thailand in the 90s and lived like a real local. He slept on the mats in the gym, ate what the fighters there ate, took beatings in training with sticks and smiled. Yeah, he earned respect because he didn't try to be special. He learned the rhythm of a different culture, and that's what made him deadly. And there are way more examples, such as Israel Adesanya, a very famous UFC fighter by now. Before his UFC career, he trained in China and went to China to fight, early on in his career. He didn't just train there though, and he didn't just fight there. He adapted to the system, the food, the fight style, how to communicate with the fans, learn the language. He fought dozens of times even under different names and learned how to win those ugly, tough fights before he became that slick, amazing striker that we are used to seeing in the UFC. And the last example I want to share with you is like one of the Instagram coaches, good Instagram coaches, real Instagram coaches, or real coaches on Instagram, I should say, Damien Trainer, right? A very famous coach in the UK. He went to Thailand and he constantly points out, don't go to Thailand expecting to be taught like a Westerner. You learn by watching, by enduring, and by being quiet. Now, that doesn't mean to just shut up and take everything that someone throws at you. That means watch, observe, learn. And now we will break down what this training like a foreigner, in this case, actually means. The first thing we have to understand is that we are not the main character. Yeah, for in your story you are, but when you step into a new gym, a new space, you're not there to impress. You're there to integrate. The less you talk, the more you learn. In unfamiliar places, humility opens doors that strength cannot. And it's not just the case in a gym. You're looking at real life. If you enter a new team, a new job, a new gym, a new city, stop trying to prove your worth immediately. You don't have to show off right away. Watch first, learn the space, and then you speak later. If, for example, you join a new workplace, instead of saying, at my last job we did this and that way, try how you do it here. Strong doesn't mean loud. Respect travels faster than confidence. That leads me to my second point. Adapt before you perform. Every gym has a rhythm. Every culture has a baseline tempo. So if you try to drop your style on top of it without adjusting, it's not gonna stick. Adaptation is intelligence in motion. So when we look at real life, before you give feedback, advice, or critique, match the energy, match the tone, and match the priorities. For example, you're an experienced player joining a new volleyball team. Don't try to fix their system in the first week. Play their way first. Then you can earn the right to add value. If you want to change the room, learn its gravity first. And speaking of gravity and learning, my third point that I want to make here is that you got to learn the language, even if you butcher it. And in martial arts, language isn't just words. It's movement, timing, posture, rituals. So trying to learn it, even clumsily, earns respect. Ignoring it says, I don't need your way, mine is better. And who wants to hear that? Again, look in real life, if you ever join a group where everyone speaks a different, professional language, trying to speak it, even badly, shows effort, helps you connect faster. For example, a corporate job with lots of acronyms. Learn them, ask questions, mimic the tone. Or another example, if there's a Y crew ritual before sparring in a gym, for example, copy it awkwardly. Better than skipping it completely arrogantly. Respect is fluent in every language, and effort is the accent they understand. So if you butcher it, no problem. You're trying, and this will be appreciated. That leads me again to the next point. Let the gym teach you, not the instructor alone. In many cultures, the structure of the culture teaches you. It's not about the coach telling you what to fix. It's about you watching, copying, and being corrected by your peers. In Thailand, kids watch, move, repeat. The mat teaches. The room teaches. And we can apply this to real life. If you're waiting for someone to teach you step by step, not gonna happen. Not everybody's got time to teach you every single little step. So watch the best, and then you emulate them. Then you test your version. Example, YouTube tutorials won't save you. But shadowing someone sharp will. At work, copy how maybe high performers in your job structure their day or speak in meetings. If you need it handed to you, you will never hold it under pressure. Another thing, eat the local food, metaphorically and literally. You don't grow if you only eat what you're used to, right? So eat the food, train at their hours, move how they move. The discomfort is the shortcut. And it's the same thing in life. You gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable. Try someone else's system. Use someone else's tools. Move on someone else's schedule. Whether it's sleep cycles, workflows, training styles. Immersion builds perspective. So if you want to grow faster, do it someone else's way, on their clock, for a while. It doesn't mean you just imitate, copy someone completely. But if you do it for a while, you will learn something. And then you take what you learn and make it your own. So to sum up those few points, you can also become that foreign fighter at home. You don't have to actually be abroad. I hope that makes sense. You don't have to travel to train like a foreigner. You just have to drop the ego long enough to see what you don't know. And, well, sometimes the best version of you isn't found at home. It's built when you realize you don't belong and then grow into the space anyway. That's how we grow. There's a proverb here in Thailand where I live and where I record this podcast from. Translated, it kind of says, when in doubt, bow lower. And I think that's a very nice proverb to like add to this episode, because it shows you that if you're trying, everybody's going to appreciate it. So train like a foreigner, that means listening more, watching more, talking less, that's hard, and adapting faster. And when you do that long enough, eventually you stop being the outsider and start becoming someone that's worth watching. This was 5 principles for this week. Don't forget to show up with humility, leave with power, and leave a subscribe. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay humble. We talk again next week. Saudi Cup.
Steel and shadow, fists fly high, breaking through limits, I reach for the sky. Martial instincts power my stride, fight principles guiding my fight.